Good day, my dear students. So last time we have dealt with discrete probability distribution and how to find for the mean, variance, and the standard deviation of a discrete random variable. By this time, we now come with the second unit, which is all about normal distribution. The learning goals for this discussion are the following. First, at the end of this discussion, you are expected to identify the characteristics of the normal distribution. Second, know the procedures on how to identify regions under the normal curve. And convert a normal random variable to standard normal variable and vice versa. The most important of all continuous probability distributions is the normal distribution. So we are now talking about, or we are now dealing with continuous probability distribution. Its graph, the graph of a normal distribution, is called the normal curve, and it is a bell-shaped curve. The proponent of this is Carl Friedrich Gauss. He developed the concept of the normal curve from his study of errors of repeated measurements of objects. The normal distribution is sometimes referred to as the normal curve of errors or the Gaussian distribution. A normal distribution is determined by two parameters. So there are two parameters to be considered. They are the mean and the standard deviation. So if the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1, then the normal distribution is said to be a standard normal distribution. Okay, remember that one. If the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1, then the normal distribution is said to be a standard normal distribution. So here's a standard normal distribution. So there are many normal distributions, but if the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1, yan, mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1, then it is said to be a standard normal distribution. So it is a bell-shaped curve, and as you can see, the legs, so they are said to be asymptotic. So hindi yan nagtatouch, no? Yung legs ng normal curve natin. So the mean is not always equal to 0 and the standard deviation is not always equal to 1. So take a look with this one. Suppose there are two curves that are sketched above the same horizontal axis, and these normal curves have the same standard deviations but different means. So take a look with this image. So as you can see here, they have the same standard deviation, which is 12, and then they have different means. So as you can observe here, parehas yung height ng normal curve natin. So they are on the same horizontal axis. It's just that magkaiba sila ng mean. So dito sa dito sa left side, sa normal curve natin, the mean is 52. Okay? But the standard deviation is 12. Sir, bakit may 64, may 40? You just add 12 here sa right side ng 52, then subtract 12 here para maging eksakto yung image natin o yung pag-graph natin. Okay. For the second curve, as you can see, the mean is 76, but the standard deviation is still 12. So, papansin nyo, 76 plus 12 will give us 88 and so on sa left side. So, 76 minus 12 will give us 64. So, ito yung mean. So, ganyan ang itsura kapag they have the same standard deviation pero magkaiba ang mean. Okay, here's another graph of two normal curves having this different means but same standard deviations. Okay. Now, let's suppose the normal curves have the same means but different standard deviations. So, ano naman na magiging itsura kapag parehas ang mean pero magkaiba ng standard deviation? Okay. Okay, here's the image of two normal curves having the same means but different standard deviations. Okay, unahin na natin ito. So this one, yan, having the mean of 52 and standard deviation of 12, as you can observe, it is this normal curve with standard deviation of 12 is flatter than that with standard deviation of 6. Mapansin, yung curve na to, yung normal curve na to, yung mean is 52 but the standard deviation is 6. So mas taas siya, mas mataas, no? Yung height which pertains to its height. So kapag mas malaki ang standard deviation natin, mas tawag dito, flatter yung graph natin. Kapag naman mas maliit, the normal curve is higher, no? Ayan, so mas mataas with regard to height. Okay. What if the normal curves have different means and different standard deviations? So, ganito yung magiging itsura ng graph natin. So, yung isa, curve 1. So, ito siya. And we have the second curve. So, kung mapapansin nyo, the first curve is flatter. Yan. Lalo na kapag the standard deviation is greater than the standard deviation of the second curve. Okay? We now come with finding for the areas under normal curve. So the areas under a normal curve can be found using the areas under the standard normal curve table. So I have announced this before that you have to have a copy to print. You print it out, or if you are using your laptop, or just download the file that I have submitted in your respective GCs. Okay? So yun yung gagamitin natin all throughout our lesson. Okay po? Ayan. So as you can see here, yung areas under normal curve natin, half of the curve, of the normal curve, its area is 0.5. So definitely, the area of the whole normal curve is equal to 1. Okay? Tandaan nyo yan. So half of it is 0.5. So in order for us to find for the area, basically these areas are regions under the normal curve. Let's have some examples. Let's have example number 1. Find the area between z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1.54. Z stands for the z-scores. So paano natin malalaman yung area between 0 and 1.54? So for the solution, the first thing to do is to sketch the normal curve. Okay. So mag-draw tayo ng horizontal line and then sketch a normal curve. As you can see, yung legs ng normal curve natin hindi nagtatouch sa ating horizontal line. Kasi nga, asymptotic siya. Okay. And then, since 1.54 is positive, it is somewhere to the right of 0. Ayan. Since positive si 1.54, nasa right siya ng 0. So, we are going to suppose that it is a standard normal distribution in which the mean is 0. Kapag positive yung isa, so nasa right siya. Kapag negative, nasa left ng 0. So it is somewhere to the right of 0. And then i-shade natin yung area na to, yung region na to, between 0 and 1.54. So ito yung graph ng first example natin. Okay, for the second step, gamit yung areas under the standard normal curve table, locate the area of, or the area for z is equal to 1.54. Okay, so paano gawin yan? Punta muna sa pinakaunang column. Okay, so proceed down the column marked z until you reach 1.5. Okay, kunin yung table kung meron. Kung wala, you print a copy. Then proceed to the right along this row until you reach the column marked 0.04. Kasi if we're going to add 1.5, plus 0.04 will get 1.54. Okay, na-gets ba? The intersection of the row that contains 1.5 and the column marked 0.04 is the area. So the area is 0.4382. Again, the area is 0.4382. Okay. Para mas maintindihan nyo, again, dito muna kayo sa first column. Yung mark Z. So, yun, punta tayo kay 1.5. And then, move along. Puntahan naman natin si 0.04. Kasi ang hinahanap natin, 1.54. Kaya 1.5, move along. And then, hanapin natin yung column na may yung idadagdag natin para maging 1.54 siya. So, definitely we have the column that is marked 0.04. So, yung intersection na yan, which is 0.4382, that is now the area. Okay? Now, let's have the second example. Find the area between z is equal to 1.52 and z is equal to 2.5. So, kung papansin nyo, yung z-scores natin are both positive. So, if we're going to graph its normal curve, magiging ganito yung itsura niya. Okay? So, syempre, mauna yung z-score na mas that is smaller. So, we have 1.52 dito. Yan. And then, we have 2.5. So, ang hinahanap naman nating area ay between 1.52 and 2.5. Kaya, ang shaded region natin ay ito. Ayan. So, yung area natin with yung A lang, yung letter A. So, ito yung hinahanap natin. So, unang gagawin, as you can see in the graph, hanapin muna yung area 1 natin. That is area from or between 0 and 1.52. And then, yung mas malaking area. So, area between 0 and 2.5. So, here's the second step. So, let A equal to the area between Z is equal to 1.52 and Z is equal to 2.5. So, yan yung hinahanap nating area. Pero bago natin makuha yan, hanapin muna natin yung area between Z is equal to 0 and Z is equal to 1.52. Using the areas under the standard normal curve table, so we have 0.4357. Tignan niyo. So, una 1.5 yung first column, and then 0.02 yung intersection nila 0.4357. Tama ba? Okay. Now, hanapin natin yung larger area, that is the area between 0 and 2.5. So, ganun din, hanapin si 2.5. Since 2.5 lang siya exactly, so doon tayo sa column na 0 lang. Okay? Or yung, kumbaga, sa pangalawang column. So, yung intersection nila is 0.4938. Nakuha po? Then, after that, isusubtract natin yung area. So, definitely, in subtracting, yung magiging minuend natin, yung mas malaking area. 0.4938 minus 0.4357. So, yung makukuhang difference now will be the area between z is equal to 1.52 and z is equal to 2.5. Let's proceed with the third example. Find the area to the right of z is equal to 1.56. Okay, so to the right of z is equal to 1.56. If we are going to sketch its normal curve, so ganito magiging itsura niya. So, to the right of z is equal to 1.56. So, sa kanan daw, to the right of z, to the right of 1.56. So, yung area na yan, yung hinahanap natin. So, as you can see here, yung unang area na hanapin muna natin is the area between 0 and 1.56. So, same process. So, ito siya. And then, bakit may 0.5 dito? O, kasi nga, half of a normal curve, its area is equal to 0.5. O, kaya merong 0.5 dyan. So here's the second step in finding for the area between or to the right of z is equal to 1.56. So una, hanapin muna natin yung area between 0 and 1.56. Okay, same process. First column, mark z, hanapin si 1.5. Okay, pag nahanap na si 1.5, move along to the column, mark 0.06. Okay. Bakit 0.06? Kasi yun ang idadagdag natin kay 1.5 para magkaroon tayo ng 1.56. Did you get that? Okay, so the intersection now will be 0.4406. Okay, nakuha ba? Okay, next. Subtract that from 0.5. So, saan galing si 0.5? Yun yung area ng half of the normal curve kanina sa graph natin. So 0.5 minus 0.4406. So the area now will be 0.0594. So the area to the right of z is equal to 1.56 is 0.0594. Did you get it, class? Okay. Now let's proceed with number 4. Find the area between z is equal to 0 and z is equal to negative 1.65. As you can see, yung value ng z natin is negative. Since z is negative 1.65, the area is located to the left of z. Ayan. So ito yung graph. Dito naman tayo sa left side ng 0. So the same table will be used to find the area to the left of z is equal to 0. Since the area to the left of z is equal to 0 is also positive. So disregard yung negative sign natin dito. Okay? So using the areas under the normal curve table, same process lang. So locate the area of z is equal to negative 1.65 from the table. Proceed down the column, mark z until you reach 1.6. As I said earlier, disregard the negative sign. Then proceed to right along this row until you reach the column marked 0.05. So the intersection of the row and the column marked 0.05 is the area. Hence, the area is 0.4505. Okay? Same process lang. Disregard the negative sign. So 1.6. So ang i-add natin is 0.05. O para madali, the 1 with 5. So the intersection will be the area, which is 0.4505. Okay, let's proceed with example that is same negative z scores. So find the area between z is equal to negative 1.5 and z is equal to negative 2.5. So if we're going to sketch the normal curve, ito yung magiging itsura niya. So since dalawa parehas silang negative, so to the left of 0. So we have negative 1.5 and then we have negative 2.5. So hinahanap itong shaded part na to. Okay? So para mangyari yan, hanapin muna natin si itong area na to, 0, between 0 and 1.5. And then yung pangalawang, yung larger area, 0, between 0 and 2.5 or negative 2.5. Okay, so paano yan? So yung a sub 1 natin or the area between z is equal to negative 1.5 and 0. So same process, hanapin si 1.5. Since eksaktong 1.5 lang siya, so punta tayo sa column that is marked 0 or 0.00 or sa second column natin. Okay, so we have 0.4332. Then sa larger area natin, we have area between z is equal to negative 2.5 and 0. So, first column, hanapin si 2.5. Dahil eksakto lang siya, kung ano yung area na makikita mismo sa katabi niya, yun na yun. So, we have 0.4938. Then, subtract the two areas, then we'll get 0.0606. Naintindihan? So, always na kapag in doing subtraction, syempre, mas yung magiging so, minuend natin rather the area that is larger. Okay, how about if we have this kind of example? Find the area between z is equal to negative 1.35 and z is equal to 2.95. So as you can see, one is negative and the other is positive. So if we're going to graph or sketch is normal curve, ganito yung mangyayari. Ayan, so the sketch normal curve is this. So the one is negative 1.35, so nasa left ng 0, and the other is to the right of 0. Since positive siya, we have 2.95. As you can see, yung na-shaded na part niya is dalawa, diba? So ibig sabihin, sa shading pa lang ng normal curve, malalaman natin if we're going to subtract or if we're going to add. So in this type of normal curve, mapapansin ninyo, we are going to add the area between negative 1.35 and 0 and the area between 0 and 2.95. So yun yung magiging area natin. In doing so, hanapin muna natin yung area between 0 and negative 1.35. Ito siya. So we have 0.4115. So 1.3, first column, 1.3, hanapin sa 1.3. So ang idadagdag natin is 0.05. So hanapin si 5 sa first row natin sa taas. So yung intersection nila is 0.4115. Second area, that is area between 0 and 2.95. So ganun din, 2.9, hanapin si 2.9, then move along to the right for that row, and then hanapin si since 2.95 yan, 5 pa rin, 0.05. So we'll get 4984. 0.4984. As I said earlier, sa graph pa lang makikita natin that we are going to add them up. So we're going to add them. So if we're going to add them, we'll get 0.9099. Is that clear? Okay. Another thing para malaman yung we're going to add them, magkaiba sila ng sign. The one is negative, then the other is positive. Sir, paano kapag magkaparehas? So you are going to add. Or just like with our previous examples. O balikan nyo lang yung previous examples natin. Okay, it's your turn. So get your copy and then try to answer the following. So we will be discussing the answers for the following items. So be prepared for our virtual class, okay? So try to answer the following. Okay, we have number 7. Find the area to the left of z is equal to 2.32. Okay, so sketch nyo yung graph nito. And then, so 2.32, that is to the right of 0. Pero ang hinahanap daw is yung area to the left of z. Ibig sabihin, lahat. So yung area sa kaliwa ng 2.32. So sa graph pa lang, malalaman nyo if we're going to subtract or if we're going to add. Okay, another tip. Since sa graph ninyo, makukuha yung other half ng normal curve. So the area is equivalent or equal to 0.5. So yun na yung larger area. Okay, tip yan ha. Next, for number 8, find the area to the right of z is equal to negative 1.8. So i-graph nyo muna para malaman if we're going to subtract or add this one. For number 9, find the area to the left of C is equal to negative 1.52. And for number 10, find the area to the right of Z is equal to negative 0.75. So try to answer these items, and we will discuss the solution during our virtual class. See you and stay safe.